Welcome, welcome. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Happy 2024. Happy New Year. Let's see. All right, now I'm off mute. Good to go. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Man, it's a new year. It's awesome. I can't believe it's 2024 already, but thank you, Frederick. Looks and sounds good. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well today, by the way. Hope you had a good New Year's. Let's see. Well, let's say hi to some folks real quick here in a second, but welcome. If you are new here, or maybe it's your first live stream, we're just going to hang out for the next hour or so and, talk smart home stuff. We've got a couple of new things to talk about, and I'll take questions. So great time to ask questions if you have any questions for me or for the group. A lot of very smart people in the chat I can see here. And while we say hi to some folks, let me know in the comments. I'm curious, what was your favorite smart home purchase of 2023? What was your favorite thing that you got or added to your smart home? Let me know in the comments. And in the meantime, we'll say hi to some folks here. Jeff from Michigan, Happy New Year. What's going on? Let's go. Great to see you. Brecken P, how's it going? Jeff from Michigan, already said hey to Jeff. Lurk Jerk, what's going on, Lurk Jerk? Scott is here. BD Creates in the house. A lot of channel members here. I tried to pin my member link in the chat, and for some reason that didn't work. So if you aren't a channel member and you would like to become one, we would love to have you. There should be a join button somewhere down there by the subscribe button or by the thumbs up button. Hit that also while you're down there. But yeah, if you want to become a channel member, we have a member Discord server where you can join as a member. I'm always in there every day. We have a lot of different channels for different smart home topics and stuff like that. And we do a member monthly video chat also on the first Wednesday of every month. Excuse me, having a hard time talking today. And that is today. So after today's live stream here, we'll do our monthly member video chat over there on Discord, which is always a lot of fun. So super excited about that. Hope to see a lot of you guys there, a lot of members. George Langerbeer, what's going on, George? Hope you're doing well today, this year. I almost said this year. I guess I can say that now. Let's see. Who else we got? Mike Evans is here. What's going on, Mike? Happy New Year to you as well. Dennis, greetings from Germany. All right, we got Germany in the house. We got France in the house. What's going on? Larry Thomas, how you doing, Larry? Albert, all right, we got a lot of members in the house. This is awesome. Great to see you guys, and just thank you again for the continued support of the channel and what we're doing here. I greatly appreciate that. Greg is here. Steve Brown, what's going on, Steve? Travis, Happy New Year to you, Travis, as well. Let's see. Ty, what's going on, Ty? All right, let's see. CNN Factory, Happy New Year from France. All right. John K. Wolf, I like the videos with your wife. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. That was fun. Yeah, that's one of those. I kind of had a feeling it would be like that. If you guys didn't know, I released like the longest video that I've ever posted on my YouTube channel. It was more like a podcast kind of thing, but me and my wife just sat down and we answered a bunch of questions that we got from you guys and from Instagram and stuff. And it was a lot of fun just kind of sitting down talking with her. It wasn't the best performing video, which I kind of figured would be the case, but those who did watch it seemed to really enjoy that. It's cool kind of getting the spouse's perspective for a smart home. So that's what we did. And we answered, just a ton of questions about all kinds of stuff. YouTube, going full time on YouTube, which I did recently. We talked about, of course, smart home, family, all kinds of different things. So that was definitely cool. Trey Pruitt, sorry. Gene, what's going on, Gene? Pietro is here. All right. Brian, what's going on, Brian? Did I say hey to you? I'm not sure if I did. I hope you're doing well. Glad you can make it today, Brian. Eric W. is here from the Netherlands. All right, we got people from all over representing. Alexis, I love the shirt. Yeah, man, I forgot to mention that. Rocking the CES 2023 shirt. Thank you for bringing that up. We got CES coming in 1 week, or less than a week, actually. So, man, I'm super pumped about that. Can't wait. I'll be going again this year. Last year, or yeah, last year was my first time going to CES, and it was just amazing. I'm really excited. We've got a lot of brands that I know that I've kind of worked with and communicated with. I know are going to be there. A lot of other content creators. Some of my favorite YouTubers and stuff will be there, and hopefully I'll get to hang out with and chat with some of these people. So super excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and definitely follow along for the ride. I'll be documenting, every day over on Instagram for sure, and I'll be posting some stuff on YouTube as well. So should be a lot of fun, and maybe I'll get another T-shirt. Terry, what's going on, Terry? Sam coming through with some gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Sam. Once again, Sam is coming through. 10 gifted memberships. So we just talked about memberships, what you can get as a member, a channel member. You can get access to our member Discord server, those monthly member chats. You can direct message me. Also, new videos you'll get early access to new videos on the channel. So we got 10 new members now that were gifted. And if you're gifted one of these, that will be, it should be 1 month. And then it's up to you if you want to renew or not. You don't have to put in any credit card information or anything like that. Like I said, you can renew if you want. We would love to have you. And if not, it's all good too. We can hang out during these live streams. But we got Ty, Chris, Jason, Aaron Schwartz, Tulsa Skin, Sean Kilgore, Tony, John R, Ty Boyle, all were gifted memberships. So thanks again to Sam for that. Thank you, Terry. Terry says, congratulations on going full time. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, it was a big decision, but it was, oh man, it's been amazing. So like I said, we talked about that a little bit in that recent video where I sat down with the wife. Let's see. I'm trying to see if anybody dropped. I was curious to see what your favorite purchase or your favorite smart home tech of 2023 was. Maybe even if it's something you didn't get yet, something you want. What is your favorite addition to the smart home from 2023? All of last year. I had a lot of stuff to my house here. I've got a few favorites myself, but curious to see what everyone's favorite from 2023 was. So let me know in the comments. Paul, what's going on, Paul? Did you get my message on IG about U-tec? Yeah, I did. Thank you, Paul. I saw that, and I was sent that, a few people mentioned that to me today, so we'll talk about that here in just a second. Actually, I got that on my list. So we'll cover a few smart home things in the news. There's not a lot because CES is coming, so some companies have announced some things early, even as far as a couple weeks ago. But we'll get to some of those things. There will be a lot of announcements coming real soon. I can tell you for a fact. So it's going to be exciting. Frederick says, will you be doing the live stream next week while you are at CES? Good question, Frederick. And the answer to that is no, I will not be doing the regular live stream like I'm doing right now. I've thought about maybe doing something a little different, maybe like an Instagram live stream or something like that. But we will not do the normal live stream on Wednesday like we're doing right here, just because the schedule is already totally crazy, and I can't guarantee that I'll be in a place, with service and all that kind of stuff, that I'll be able to do the live stream during my normal time. So just to be safe, we'll skip next week, and then I'll be back the following week, which should be a lot of fun because I'm sure we'll have a lot more stuff to talk about. Let's see. So let's jump into a couple things here. I know Paul mentioned the U-tec smart lock. So let's go ahead and jump into that. And in a little bit, you guys can ask me questions, and I'll do my best to answer as many of those as I can. So if you're not familiar, Ultra Lock, made by U-tec, is it's a lock. They've had the U-tec has made smart locks for a while, so I have been familiar with them. I've never used any of them. They don't have any that support HomeKit up until now. Well, soon to be. There's a wait list. I was aware of these for a while. I've been in communication actually with this company a little bit. I don't know exactly what happened, or if, I don't know when this is going to come out. I don't recall. Maybe it's just something that didn't work out. So maybe I'll get one of these at some point to test out. You guys let me know if if this is something you want to see me review or talk about here on the channel. But to go ahead and jump into it, they've announced two, I guess maybe three smart locks essentially. Okay, so you have the UltraLock Bolt NFC, which this is what it looks like right here. This does support Apple HomeKey, of course, because it has NFC, so that's awesome. You guys know I'm a big fan of Apple HomeKey. And they also announced, let's see, smart locks. So here you go. This, I guess, is a better view. So you got the Bolt NFC, which is the one I just mentioned, and then they got the Bolt Fingerprint. Now, both of these will support Apple HomeKit. The only difference is, or the biggest difference is, the Bolt Fingerprint here has a has a fingerprint scanner right here, whereas this one, the NFC, does not have the fingerprint scanner, but this has an NFC reader, which means you can do Apple HomeKey. So on the one with the fingerprint, you cannot do Apple HomeKey. It does support HomeKit, just not HomeKey. All right, so that's kind of the difference there. I think they're the same price. And I was reading a little bit about this over on The Verge, and they talked about the pricing here. According to this article, $249, and these both support Wi-Fi. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. The NFC and the fingerprint will support Wi-Fi, and they've announced that they will apparently be releasing a Matter over Thread smart lock. So this will be, I believe, the first Matter over Thread. Again, if this comes out before another one does, I think that'll be the first one that supports Matter over Thread. It will be a little bit more expensive. And it does not have Apple HomeKey, and that's probably because it's like a Matter type of thing right there. And I'm assuming we'll have the fingerprint scanner for that one. So anyways, that's some new locks coming out from them. I think they're going to have this stuff at CES. That's probably, what this announcement is coming from. So if they're there, if I'm able to find them and see what they got going on, I'll definitely ask them some questions. So if you have any for me, let me know. Let's see, Mike says, I'll stick with the U100, cheaper and more features. It's ugly though, the U100. Yeah, that's a good point there. I was actually kind of thinking about that too. The U100 is, that thing has more features, I think, than any other smart lock. Has Apple HomeKey, has the fingerprint reader, has the keypad. It has everything really you could ask for. And it is at a good price, so I'm not mad at that. Definitely understand. Will Apple officially announce a partnership with Matter? Apple hasn't really done anything for CES in the last few years that I recall, maybe ever. I don't know. I don't really think Apple does anything for CES usually, but they're already an official. An official supporter or member of CSA, and they're already a part of this. So I think that's kind of already official, you know what I mean? And they support Matter already. Level Lock is supposed to support Matter over Thread this year per their press release. Is that right? Oh, interesting. I didn't see that one, Frederick. I'll have to see if I can find that. That'll be, is it the existing ones? The ones that are already out right now. I wonder if that's maybe what that holdup is on the Thread announcement that they made. At least a year ago they said they were going to get a Thread update and then went silent. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they're waiting on Matter. I don't know. Or maybe they're waiting to figure out Matter, because Matter supports locks now already. So I don't know. Sam says, boo, 2.0 Smart Lock for the win. Yeah, 2.0 Smart Lock is another one. Hopefully we'll hear some updates about the 2.0 Smart Lock. Sam is our man. Sam can let us know, maybe. if there's any announcements coming for the 2.0 smart lock. Let's see if we can pull up the 2.0 smart lock. I haven't been to that website in a while. 2.0 is the company that makes these little buttons right here. Sam could tell us all about those. But let's see, smart button, smart lock. This is the 2.0. I do like the look of that one. Price is a little bit better too than the ones we were just looking at. You can pre-order it now. Shipping December 2023. Well, pre-order. So looking forward to that one as well. Zane's still waiting on the U2100. That brings me kind of to the next. Actually, before we get to that, I saw a couple. Let me get to these real quick. I saw 2 member chats, so let me make sure I get to you guys. Don, what's going on? Don is using his member chat. You guys have one of these a month, I think, as a member. Don says, here in Seattle for a meeting, so got to run in the moment. Oh, in a moment. Everyone here on the live stream, please hit the like button so we can show Shane some love. Oh, man, thank you, Don. I hope I got to that before you had to run. Thank you so much for encouraging everybody to like this video, as well as being a channel member, a supporting member of my channel for 19 months, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Don had a good question too that we answered in that last video with my wife. So I think he had a question from my wife, and we got to that question in that video. Baba is trolling, member for 1 month. Thank you for being a member as well and supporting the channel. Says, question, do you think the little companies will make devices that support Matter or support HomeKit because of Matter? So I think, yeah, I do think we'll start seeing more of this. I hope. The question is do I think we'll see more companies that can support HomeKit? I guess even smaller companies because of Matter is the way I take that question. And I do think we will start to see this more. I mean, I've already started seeing more products that support Matter that I know I'm like 95% sure wouldn't support HomeKit otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of being in the HomeKit game for a while. Last few years, a lot of these companies that previously would have probably just supported, Lady A and Google Home, now they're supporting Matter. So that is, I think, will bring us more Apple Home products in the future, since Matter can work with anything. So yeah, I do think so. Oh man, and Jake, we got Jake who just joined as a new channel member. Thank you so much, Jake, for joining. Let's hit the celebratory button there. Excuse me. So yeah, where I was getting to, somebody mentioned the Aqara U200. And that is the lock. Let's see, I actually had that pulled up here. For those that don't know, Aqara announced this one a while ago. So if you go and find it on, it's kind of weird because Aqara doesn't usually do Kickstarters. But they did a Kickstarter for this one. It just says notify me on launch. This is basically their retrofit lock. So I know a lot of people, probably especially in the EU, might be waiting for this. And especially this would be great for people who rent and stuff like that. But still no updates on this. What is interesting as well, though, is Aqara posted today, I think it was just today, on their social accounts, this little image. So this is over on Instagram. You should follow me also, by the way, if you're not already on Instagram, because I post over there quite a bit. I'll definitely be posting a lot during CES. I know Aqara is going to be there, and I will definitely try to get up with Aqara and see what they got going on. But their little image here says new products loading. Looks like some doorknob or some door handle type of devices. I don't know, based by these little silhouettes. No idea what that could be. You guys dropped some guesses down there in the chat. And we got right here, this, if I had to guess, would be maybe their M3 hub. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Anyways, the M3 hub is this guy right here. So this, I guess you could get through, the Chinese markets right now, or those international resellers, but they haven't started selling this internationally. This will be their Matter supported hub, and it will be a Matter controller made by Aqara. So that'll be pretty interesting. I think that is something we'll hopefully see at CES, and maybe can get a little bit more information on that. So I know that'll be pretty exciting to see. And one of my lights just turned off. What was that all about? Let's see if I can get that back on. I have no idea why that happened. Oh, it's just a fill light, so all good. All good. Let's see. Brian says, your dad just discovered the walkie-talkie feature. Does anybody use that feature? That is one that I was really excited about, and then I never use it. I never use it now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Superman, we got Superman in the chat here. Says, what have you heard about Matter vacuums that we can connect to HomeKit? So all I've heard so far is 1 or 2 companies that have said that they will support Matter or they will roll out updates. I can tell you SwitchBot, I know, is one of the companies that said, I'm pretty sure, I think they said both their robot vacuums. So they just released 2 of them in the past few months. The really crazy, I think it's the S10, and then, or no, is S10 the small one? I don't know. SwitchBot has 2. The little tiny one, which is the one that I have here, and then they got the other one that hooks up to the water lines and all that crazy stuff. I think those are going to support Matter. They've announced that. I've heard some other companies that will plan to make some announcements as well. So hopefully, again, basically anybody that I talk to at CES that makes robot vacuums, I will ask that question. So follow me over there. Like I said, definitely on Instagram, and I'll post a video probably here on YouTube after CES, and I will ask everybody that makes a vacuum that question right there. What can you tell me about Matter? When can we see it? All that good stuff. Gene, what's going on, Gene? Gene has been a member for 6 months. Thank you so much, Gene, for being a channel member. A week back, my folks were making fun of me automating lights in the house with sensors after a hotel stay. Now they want smart lights in the bathroom. Nice. Hey, that's a win. That's your that's the gateway there. The only thing is that motion automations are tricky, and they can be they can backfire on you quickly. But yeah, that's awesome. I don't know if you saw my little short video that I just posted earlier today, actually, but I just went to my parents' house, over the weekend, or actually, yeah, for New Year's, and had lunch and stuff, and I hooked up my mom with some new smart lights that she's been wanting. That was kind of cool. So I did a video, what was that? Like in November, I think, where I, for the first time, set up my parents with some smart home tech. They kind of wanted a couple things, and I think they got the bug now. My mom really wanted some little lights for this tree, and so I was like, I think I got the perfect thing for you. We got her some little twinkly dots. Again, check out the little short video if you want to see that. But yeah, that's kind of fun when you can start spreading your love for smart home to the others, so other people can appreciate it. It's fun. Oh, there you go. Door contact sensor will be better for bathroom lights. Yep, that is good. As long as you close the door all the time when you need to. That's a problem with a lot of doors and closets in my house, is that if you don't shut the door every time you leave or something like that, it might not work, which motion might be better in those cases. So let's see here. We got another member chat. Paul, what's going on, Paul? Once again, will you be doing some more Homey Pro videos in the future? We'd like to see some advanced flows, hoping to be getting it soon, as long as the wife approves. That's a good question, Paul. And you guys let me know too while I'm rambling here if the stream looks good still. I got a weird warning over here. I want to make sure we're still looking good. You can hear me and all that stuff. But Paul, to answer that question, I don't really know, because I feel like the Homey Pro stuff is kind of a real small niche, even more small than, Apple Home. And I just don't know how many people would benefit from something like that. So that's the only concern I have with doing Homey Pro videos, because for one, it's just so expensive. So a lot of people, just won't be able to have one. but it's definitely something to consider. I have seen a number of people who have been investing in the Homey Pro lately, and people seem to really like it. Thank you, Mike, Superman, Dane. All right, appreciate it, guys. Everybody says stream looks good. Looks good. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. But yeah, that's definitely something to consider. Maybe, maybe I can do like a members video and just publish it just to members or something on some advanced flows type of stuff. I'm still getting into that myself. I was actually just setting up some new automations through Homey Pro instead of HomeKit. I still have most of my automations done through HomeKit, but I am starting to set up some of those in Homey Pro also. Still haven't done a lot with the advanced flows, but really loving what you can do over there. So I'll definitely be doing some more of that myself. And if nothing else, over there in the Discord server, we can share. We got that whole channel just for Homey Pro. We can kind of share and everything over there. Speaking of Homey Pro, let's go ahead and mention this. Let's see, do I have that up still? Yeah, so Paul, you probably saw this over there in the member Discord server, but for those who are curious or do use Homey Pro, they released this. So they were supposed to update the Homey Pro to support thread, matter over thread in Q4 of 2023. They did release this recently, which actually this was shared with us over in the Discord server. But they kind of go into why it couldn't ship. Let's see, the problem here we'll read the problem. The problem is that Apple and Google have made themselves gatekeepers to onboarding thread devices using an iOS or Android device. The Homey app must use their software when adding a thread device using the phone's Bluetooth. This goes pretty deep. For example, all Apple devices actively block talking to a thread device over Bluetooth. There's no way to bypass this on an iPhone, iPad, or Mac. Everyone must always use Apple's APIs. It in itself wouldn't be so bad if it worked. So that's a problem. And then they go on to kind of mention the problems over Android and stuff like that. And their solution is, let's see, where does it say? A bit out of frustration, but mostly because of our love for a great user experience, we have chosen to build the thread commissioning ourselves using a Homey Pro's onboard Bluetooth. So that's what they're doing. Kind of a bummer. I'm really been looking forward to seeing that update come to Homey Pro, but totally understand. And I am really glad that they put this out instead of just like having people continuing to guess. Unfortunately, it's just kind of one of those things. I feel like this is kind of one of those growing pains also with Matter. Let's see. One thing I did note here too, which is still, I can't wait for this to be fixed, but and for the time being, the vision of a single unified thread network will have to wait. One day we'll be there. Let's see what you guys got going on in the chat over here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day where everything can just work simultaneously through the same thread network. That will be amazing if we can ever get there. Yeah, well, we'll see, Lawrence. We'll see. I don't know. They said it's going to be a challenge, but hopefully they'll be able to do it. I don't know. Any guidance for nanoleaf bulbs not responding? Oh, that's a tough one there. It's probably something to do with your thread. Speaking of thread, it could be your thread networks. Just a lot of things to troubleshoot when something's not responding. Restarting HomeKit hubs and stuff like that. Checking your thread network. Again, it's a number of steps to kind of figure out the problem usually. I usually start with restarting my HomeKit hubs. And there are some tools you can use to like check your thread network as well, but it gets a little tedious. Lone Star Trent, what's going on, Lone Star Trent? Says busy doing stuff. Can't wait to see everything next week. Brian, yeah, so I've definitely heard kind of mixed reviews on the Matter Nanoleaf stuff. I've definitely heard a number of people having issues. I've also heard of some people who they work great for. So I don't know. It's been kind of hit or miss. I'm only using one of the Matter Nanoleaf light strips, kind of like daily. I've used other ones and bulbs in testing, but in my daily use, I only have one. It's actually right here on my desk, and I like it okay. It works well enough. It works with my HomeKit automations and everything like that. I don't have any major issues with it. Brian says, question, are there any other thread bulbs out there? Yeah, Brian, so I actually didn't think there was until last week. Lawrence mentioned, what was the name of that one, Lawrence? I see you're here in the chat. Let me know. I forget already. Lawrence shared with me another brand that does have a matter over thread bulb. Mujoy, thank you. Yeah, it's by the ADOT brand, AIDOT. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll see if I can pull that up. But I've used some of their other matter bulbs, but not the Mujoy brand. They have like kind of some different sub brands. Let's see if we can find it. So this is the brand right here. Let's see. So Orion, that's one of the brands. See, they have different brands. Mujoy, Linkind. Again, I don't know if I'm saying these right. Those are the ones that I've used. Those are matter over Wi-Fi. And I think this is the one right here. Let's see. Yeah, matter over thread. There you go. So thank you, Lawrence, for that. I didn't even know there was another matter over thread light bulb available until this one. So, and shoot, I mean, you can't beat that price right there. I'll drop some links to these in the video description once we're done with this video or this live stream. Oh, thank you, Clyde, for sharing. Yeah, sometimes the Apple HomeKit hubs can do some weird things, also depending on which HomeKit hub is active. Yeah, hopefully we get more at CES. That'll be a good thing to remember too, is to ask about thread, because I remember last year there was a ton of Matter talk, but it was still so early. It was kind of like a lot of pipe dreams and stuff, you know what I mean? So I just remember going and seeing like Matter everywhere. It was definitely a buzzword in the smart home area. But now that it's been released, it's been implemented, it'll be really interesting to see this year kind of who's talking about it, and it'll be nice to, good to remember to ask about thread too, because I think a lot of people are just going to be doing Matter through bridges or Matter over Wi-Fi, but we still don't have a ton of Matter over thread things. So let's see. Can't wait to get the Nanoleaf skylight. Oh yeah. Yeah. Me too. Me too. I've got a ton of Nanoleaf stuff here in the studio, if you can't tell. I think that other light over there went off too, didn't it? What's going on here? Somebody probably in my house is talking to the HomePod and making my lights go off. Did y'all are probably telling me in the comments, hey, half of my lights went off. Let's see, what else was there? Dang, that one went off too? There we go. That's good enough. Let's see. Question. Yeah, and thank you. If you guys have a question for me, we can go ahead and do questions now for during the rest of the stream. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Go ahead and preface your question with the word question, like Jeff did, and it'll kind of make it stick out to me a little bit. What's weird too, for those of you who have been watching these streams for a while, you know how YouTube used to highlight these questions for me on the back end. It was doing that when I first started the stream today, and then it stopped, and I was like, oh man. So I don't know what's causing that, but yeah, preface your comment with the word question, and like Jeff did here, and hopefully I'll be able to get to it. When you see a car at CES, will you ask them where my T1M ceiling light is? I need 3, please. I will do that for you. I will. I got you, Jeff. Let's see. I was going to pull that up for anyone that may not know what we're talking about. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. I think this is it. From The Verge. So, has a... Oh man, I thought we had more photos than that. I think it has an outer ring and the inner light that can both be controlled through HomeKit. But yeah, hopefully we'll see that one too. Is that and the U200 that we still have not seen yet. So hopefully that'll come really soon. Question, how to turn Nanoleaf 4D on when the Apple TV is on? What do you mean, like through an automation? Unfortunately, you can't use Apple TV as a HomeKit trigger for automations. It makes no sense to me why that's not an option, but it's not. If you have a HomeKit enabled TV, you can use your TV as a trigger. Other than that, you're just going to have to either, use your HomePod, voice assistant. I'm trying not to trigger everybody's voice assistants. You'll have to use the voice assistant or HomeKit, or you can do a scene, watching TV scene, something like that maybe. But unfortunately, you can't use Apple TV as a automation trigger. It makes no sense, but it is what it is. Let's see. Question, I know you're going for CES, but will you hit any tables in Vegas? Paul says. I'm not a big gambler, so I probably won't. I'll be so busy. My wife might. I'm actually taking the wife this year, so she might sneak away. She'll probably get tired of holding my camera and and go to the casinos. I would not be surprised at all if that happens. But we're gonna have a little bit of downtime at first when we first get there. But then once the event starts on Tuesday of next week, man, we're gonna be so busy. But it's gonna be fun. Lots of. It's a good busy. Question, I got my girlfriend a switch bot to turn on the Nespresso. Turned out it's not working due to the Nespresso. Any ideas on what to do with this device now? Maybe something to surprise her. With the switch bot? Man, I don't know. Guys, if you have any comments, for those that don't know, let me pull up the switch bot. I think most people know what that is by now. But the switch bot is this little device here. It's a little like finger robot. So if you have any good ideas for a finger robot, drop them in the chat for Justin here. I don't really use any right now. I was using one on my coffee machine for a long time until I got a new coffee machine that I don't really need that for anymore. You can use them for light switches. You can use them for garage door openers. I've seen people use them like actually on remotes to like start a projector. You could do projectors, things like that. Garage door opener or wall switch, Frederick says. Yeah, that's kind of the Conference of Birds says, thank you. Says, just sending a shout out to my man Shane. Thank you for giving out so much useful knowledge to the community. I personally learned and applied so many things because of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. And I'm very glad that the channel has been helpful. I very much appreciate the support. Fireplace. Oh, that's a good one. Maybe if you could do a fireplace, be careful with a fireplace, but that could be good because it's like maybe a retrofit option. Maybe you don't have to actually change out the switch or something like that. There we go. Use a switch bot to control our pool filter and lights. All right. I like it. I like the creativity there. Superman says, I was down there for the F1 race 2 months ago. Make sure to hit Chica restaurant with your wife. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. The only time I've ever been to Vegas was last year at CES 2023 is the only time I've ever been to Vegas, believe it or not. So I don't know a whole lot about it outside of the CES world. It's kind of, I think I need to go back another time, maybe. I don't know, maybe when there's no CES, I feel like I don't get the full Vegas experience because of CES CES kind of takes over Vegas when it's there. Bradley, how do we get involved with the Discord? So the Discord server is a part of the membership here for the YouTube channel. So if you become a YouTube channel member, you'll then get access to the Discord server. And the membership is about $5 a month. There should be a join button somewhere down there next to the like button, I believe. And yeah, you'll get access to the Discord server. You'll get access to early videos before they come out to everybody else, and a few other things. Our member video chats once a month. We'll have one of those here this evening in a little bit. Let's see, what do you think would be the best HomeKit door lock? Ideally not needing anything installing outside of the door. I was looking at Dana Lock. Let me look at that one because I remember that name, but I can't remember what that looks like off the top of my head. I think that's like a European lock, if I'm not mistaken, which that may alter some of the options here. Dana Lock. Guess they got a few different versions. Works with everything. That's nice. Yeah, I think that's more. I think they're a European company, right? If I'm not mistaken. But the one that and so this may vary depending on where you're at in the world. Best European lock is Nuki. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Nuki also. Thank you, Lurk Jerk. You did mention doorknob, door lock. I don't know if you meant door lock or doorknob. I was thinking doorknob for some reason when I read that. But yeah, I use for doorknobs, I actually use the Holomark Secura lock. Those are for like my indoor doors. I have one here in the studio that I can lock and control with HomeKit. But outside of that, you mentioned not needing anything installed outside of the door. You might want to look at the level lock bolt, which is the one that you can install just inside the actual deadbolt if you have that type of deadbolt. This kind of lock right here is different, so you might not be able to use some of the ones that we have over here on this side of the pond. That's the one. Dana Lock is Danish. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't know, because your locks are probably different than what we have over here. So some of the ones we have probably won't work. Maybe check out Nuki. That one was recommended there. Let's see. Any smart heater that works with HomeKit? Not that I know of. I don't think we have any appliances, not natively. You could probably get some stuff through Homebridge, but not natively. Jimmy, what's going on? Jimmy says, anything in particular you are looking for at CES? Man, that's a good question. Not really anything in particular, I guess. I mean, I'm just like a kid in a candy shop when I go there, man. It's just so much fun, exciting. I spend so much time in the smart home place. So they have, if you've never been, they have, one whole big section that's mostly smart home stuff. I just spend so much time there going from like booth to booth. And it's just really fun to see what a lot of these brands will be announcing and kind of what we can expect for the next year. And it's also kind of fun to sort of try to predict like, how much is like actually going to happen. You kind of see trends, I feel like, with certain companies. Some companies will announce things at CES in January for the next year, and they never really happen, or it might take 3 years for it to happen. Other companies announce stuff, and it's coming that year. So that's kind of fun too. I'll just definitely be looking for the people who are kind of on the cutting edge, I guess you could say. Anything that supports Matter, the newer protocols, the newer technology. Matter over Thread will be awesome. I'm really curious about robot vacuums. I want to see any of those brands that might be talking about Matter support here in the near future. We should be seeing that really soon. Let's see. Is there anything else that I'm really in particular looking for? I don't know. I think that's really just it. And just other than that, just, some of my favorite brands, seeing what they're up to out there. Steve, question. Your wife mentioned the smart mattress pad heater, and that definitely speaks to my wife. What are you using? So, Steve, I did a short video on YouTube about that. Let me see. Hope this doesn't start playing the videos. I'm pretty sure I'm pulling this up because I'm pretty sure I linked it in there. Yeah, so I made a short video on my YouTube channel. I think it's on Instagram too, but this one right here, wife's favorite new smart home device. This is probably going to start playing. But yeah, there's actually a link to the exact one. That's the one that I'm using. Oh, it says it's out of stock. But that is the one I'm using. Let's see. I'll see if I can find it on Amazon. I'll give you a link to it. Let's see. The key is that you got to find one that has an analog controller if you want to use it with a smart switch. This is the one right here. A lot of them have, like a digital controller. You have to have an analog controller if you want to use it with a smart switch. Let's see. I will drop an affiliate link to this in the chat. You can go check it out. It looks like there's only one left here according to this link. So, and again, that's an affiliate link. Check that out if you're interested. It's what we're using. My wife loves it. I kind of like it too, but it's cool because there's two controllers for like a king size bed, two separate controllers for each, one for each side. And, that's nice to have if you're sharing your bed with somebody. But I've noticed with mine, like it's nice for the 10 seconds when I first get in the bed. After that, I got to cut that thing off, like, because it gets hot. It gets pretty warm quick, but you can adjust it, but I can't do it for very long. Hopefully Roborock, Lone Star Trent says, yeah, Roborock is definitely going to be there. So I'll try to get with them at CES. Let's see. Check something like the Shelly 3, but for maybe up to 10 channels. That would be awesome in an electrical cabinet. Yeah, Shelly's got some stuff too. I haven't really looked too much into Shelly, but I would like to in the near future. See, I'm trying to get up to some of these other questions I think I missed. Question, are you going to go to the Big Dome? I know some other people who are going to be doing that while I'm there, but unfortunately I will not be. I would like to try it, but my wife gets pretty motion sick actually. And so we talked about, I was like, you think we should like book that and let's go check it out. But I've heard a lot of people that get pretty motion sick when they go to that. Even people who don't normally get motion sick. So I don't think she'd stand a chance. So we're not going to go to that. But we're going to do some other fun stuff. There's one or two like restaurants and stuff she really wants to go to. So, oh yeah, 3D movies to Apple TV, not just Vision Pro. That's what I'm really looking forward to, Apple Vision Pro. Let's see. Question, have you seen Tetris on Apple TV Plus? If not, it's a real good movie. I can remember when it first came out, did not realize what all happened to get it to the USA, or to get it to the USA. Yeah, I did see that movie, Paul. And, you know, I've been thinking about creating a little like movies and games. We need to create, I think, a little section for this kind of stuff on our Discord server. That would be fun. But yeah, I did see this movie. It was really good. I enjoyed it. And I'm like you. I'm trying to think. I mean, I remember Game Boys and Tetris being like a huge thing. So yeah, it was definitely really interesting to see that movie and to find out a lot of that stuff is true. I mean, it was based on a true story. It's a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it very much. Jimmy, I can't say. No, I know a couple of companies. There's a few who I have a little bit of insight on what's to come. So yeah, there's a few, but there's going to be some good stuff. So stay tuned. That's all I'll say. A few of them have already released, some of their announcements, like they already released their stuff. Like I said, U-tec announced theirs. So some are already starting to roll out things, but a lot of them are waiting till next week. You're going to be seeing tons of updates come out. So follow along over on Instagram for sure. I'll post pretty much everything over there. Let's see. Mark, member for 8 months. Thank you, Mark, for being a member. Does iOS need an update to support Matter 1.2? I don't think Apple supports Matter 1.2 yet. Sometimes I get with all these updates and version releases. I'm sure somebody here in the chat will know before I find the answer to that. Yeah, that's the one that supports robot vacuums. And last I checked, Apple does not support that. So they will need to support it in order to get robot vacuums and stuff like that into HomeKit. So that's one of the, that's kind of one of the things, like, hopefully that doesn't become, a normal thing where we're getting these Matter updates. And Apple's going to have to support the devices still. But yeah, I don't think I don't think they support Matter 1.2 yet. Question, speaking of Vision Pro, are you planning to get one? It's going to be coming out at the end of this month, supposedly. Keyword, supposedly. Apple employees are flying out in the next week for training. Yeah, I've seen a lot of those rumors too, as much as I try to not look at the rumors. I have been seeing those. Yeah, as soon as it's available, I'm going to be trying to get one. I've been preparing my wife. If you watch if you watch that video with my wife recently that I was talking about, she thinks it's the dumbest thing ever. But I've been preparing her for months now that it's going to happen. I've been saving my money and preparing her for a smooth transition into the world of Apple Vision Pro. So yes, it's coming. She might just not be too thrilled with me, but like I said, I've been preparing her, so. Question, should I go for controller for HomeKit or should I go for Homey Pro? Well, they're two completely different things. Controller for HomeKit is an app. Homey Pro is a hardware device that costs $400. So yeah, they're just two different animals. It's kind of hard to compare the two. I do enjoy both of them. I think Controller for HomeKit is a great app for HomeKit users, especially if you're getting more advanced, want to do some more advanced like automations as well as maintenance and stuff like that. It's a really great app for HomeKit users. Homey Pro is a great product as well, but again, just two kind of different things there. Yeah, I would wait for Vision Pro 2.0 like I did with the iPhone and watch, but can't wait to see what Shane thinks of version. Yeah, honestly, I probably would too if, but see, now that I've switched over to doing YouTube full time in the last couple months, I can now just use that as my excuse. So my wife can't get mad. I can just say, it's my job. I got to get the Vision Pro. I don't know if that's going to work, but that's my plan. Dan, what's going on, Dan? Dan says controller for HomeKit is a must for doing HomeKit backups. Yeah, good point. It gives you a lot of good maintenance. Got a lot of good maintenance features there in general. You can save HomeKit codes, Matter codes, and stuff like that also. Hoops Pro, they also released an update a few weeks ago. I think it was via email. So I don't know that they put out a press release, but they did release an email saying that they were having so I don't think I can find it because it was in my email, but they released a statement saying that it was being delayed because of some sort of chip manufacturing, some way that they're getting the components for the Hoops Pro what became a problem, and so they're kind of like reevaluating that process. And this is me kind of spitballing here, trying to remember exactly what it said, but it was something along the lines of their product manufacturing to get the chips that they need. And yeah, so they're gonna kind of going back to the drawing board from what I remember on that, just for production, in terms of production, but they are still working on it, but it's been delayed. So that's what I remember from the email. Again, that was like a few weeks ago that they released that. Question, are there some smart entry phone to work with HomeKit? I'm looking for something to replace my entry phone. I'm not sure what you mean by entry phone there. Like an intercom type of thing, maybe. And if that's the question, then no, I don't know of anything like that supports HomeKit natively. Camera doorbell maybe might be the best type of option if that's what you're looking for. Lone Star Trent, everyone must have the Eve app even if you don't have Eve products. Yeah, that's a good suggestion too. I actually just filmed a video that'll come out here soon. I'm doing a couple of automation videos, so those of you who really like the automation type of videos, I've got a couple of those coming in the next few weeks. But one of the videos I did mention controller for home. I usually mention when I'm doing these advanced automations, I'll usually mention controller for HomeKit, the Home Plus app, and the Eve app. All three are great. Eve app is the only one that's free. So I'll usually mention that, and I'll often do my demos with that one since it is free. And yeah, that's what I've done. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that HomeKit has these automation capabilities in the framework that you just can't access with the Home app. It's so weird, and it's confusing to a lot of people because HomeKit is actually more powerful than the Home app itself is, if that makes sense. So you have to use like a third-party HomeKit app, like the Eve app, controller for HomeKit app, to kind of unlock some of those deeper automation capabilities and features within the HomeKit framework. It's one of those things, you know, Apple just trying to keep the Home app simple, which I understand that too, but you know, it's confusing, I guess. Let's see, automation videos, hell yeah. All right, yeah, stay tuned for some of that. And we got CES coming, lots of good stuff coming up. Guys, it has been a true pleasure hanging out with you guys for the first live stream of the year. We have our member video hangout coming up soon here in a few minutes. So all of you channel members, I will be over on Discord here soon. In about 30 minutes, we'll do that. I'm going to grab a little drink, snack, and be back for that. For everybody else, thank you so much for hanging out today. Again, follow me over on Instagram, because I will just be sharing probably more stuff than you want to see when we go to CES for that whole trip. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'll share all the updates and stuff like that. We'll also do, some stuff here on YouTube as well. But a lot of the behind the scenes will be over there on Instagram. Really fun. Again, there will not be a live stream next week like we normally do on Wednesdays because of CES. So we'll come back the following week and hang out then. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been a pleasure. I hope to see you soon, and have a great day. God bless.